we're gonna talk about this Erwin McManus clip, because everyone's talking about it online. Everyone's so mad. Everyone's
clip?
so mad. Yeah,
I
have
haven't watched it.
Okay, they're so mad.
Trust people who are on stages going, you right here in row 3. I think that is like from the pit of darkness. I mean, if you have the gift of healing, go to the hospital and heal people. Quit acting like you only heal on Sunday at church. Using a spiritual gift should be something elegant and beautiful, not something showy and tacky. And on top of that, we tend to like spiritual gifts because we don't like character. Because if you have a spiritual gift, no one can question your character. And I care way more about character than I do about gifts. Are you trustworthy? Are you honest? Are you loving? Those are actually expressions of the character of Jesus. I don't trust people who are...
Okay, so people are saying, I mean, there's like mad people in the comments, you know.
Sure.
Jeremy Johnson, shout out Pastor Jeremy Johnson. I love you. I was just texting with you today. Great pastor. Pastor Dustin Bates in Dallas, love you. Pastor Russ, they need to make podcasting equipment more
expensive. I love Russ.
Alex Seeley, these generalizations are very damaging. Mike Elter, Corey Eltake, Fred Porter, this makes me sad. I mean, these are a lot of, this is probably filtering by my friends. You know, these are a lot of my friends. But shout out Dan in UK, the double heart, our friend Michael Whittle. Now, okay, so essentially what people are saying is that what they're hearing him say is don't use the Holy Spirit. That's what I feel like they're hearing him say. What are you hearing him say?
I mean, I think it's just generally, it's kind of a low IQ take. I get his point. I get the point. And I do think that there is something to be said that I think a lot of times we've cared more about what a leader can offer pragmatically than we care about the actual fruit in their life, what their family looks like, what their day-to-day living is like. So I get the point. Like the foundational point of what he's saying, I understand. But if you're going to, you can't throw the gifts out, for crying out loud. You can't throw every gift out and say, hey, I think that the prophetic is from the pit of darkness. It's like, are there people that are dishonest? Of course. There's been people that have been dishonest since the early church. I mean, the first councils are debating heresies and doing jujitsu against leaders who are saying some of the same stupid stuff we say today. So
yeah, I think for me, my take on what was said in this clip is that the pit of darkness thing was like too far. Like that was too far.
Give us a specific instance.
Yeah, give us a specific instance, because what I can say is I have seen people abuse the gifts of the Spirit in church settings.
Of course,
that is from the pit of hell.
Of course,
and I think also. I think this is an amazing case study on the way that social media works. A lot of the reason why people are reacting this strongly about this clip is because recently Erwin McManus and their podcast has been focusing on theology, which is new for them. And he's given many contrarian takes, or given takes that are just, I think people just already disagree with. So people are already, I think, in a posture, I think they're in a posture to like be weary of him, which I don't think is necessarily wrong of people. The pit.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar. I'm not too familiar with Erwin McManus, to be honest. I've always liked his aesthetics. I've always seen the clips and the pictures and stuff from Mosaic, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But I've never I'm not gonna try to judge him too harshly. But you know, people that are it's like the problem is if you just completely reject the gifts and you're like, hey, we're not interested in that. I'm interested in seeing the love in your heart based on what you post on social media, and then I'll judge you. That's your thing.
I just hope people keep the same energy with their friends.
True.
I'm just sorry, and I'm going to say this, and you can decide afterwards if you don't want this posted, but I just hope you keep that same energy with Paula White. I just hope you keep that same energy with, I mean, bro, I hope you keep that same energy with your friends. I hope you keep that same energy with yourself. And I'm not saying this to defend Erwin, because this you guys have to realize, this is mine and Taylor's world. We get clipped, people clip. I just hope we keep this same ferocity towards the people that are close to us, that are like us, that are in our tribe, and we call them higher when they're out of whack. I just hope we do that. As long as we do that, I think it's fine to come at energy. Obviously, Erwin and his son Aaron, they post stuff publicly. They're ready for the heat. Aaron went on in a very Twitch streamer-esque way and like responded to each of these comments by name, like Alex Seeley.
Really?
It was funny. I invited Aaron to come on the show, so hopefully Aaron comes on the show. Maybe editor, we can clip just this little invite from he and I to say, Erwin and Aaron, come on the show, talk about it. You can join our show from your phone. We have it set up that way. Come on for 5 minutes. Come on for 15. Come on for 50. We want to create a place at Between Sundays where people can talk about stuff with each other and flush stuff out. But I would say that that was my initial take. I also don't mind though people defending orthodoxy, and I also
Sure.
the first time I saw this clip, I felt exactly the same way that everyone's reacting. It felt like he's saying the gifts of the Spirit are rubbish and just be a nice person. That made me go, that's some Rob Bell from the pit of hell, put that man straight to jail, type of vibes.
Sure.
That is real.
Well, look, we've all said some stupid stuff on a podcast at some point, okay? We've all said something on a podcast that later on we're like, hey, I was talking about a specific scenario that the people listening didn't understand, and so I said something.
Here's the last. Oh, sorry, you go.
No. Share your clip.
No, I was just gonna say, I feel like this has been all over my algorithm, right? Like a lot of I've literally had people texting me about this. People are like, get your boy. And you're like, why? Because I listen to his podcast sometimes. He's my boy, You get your boy, I would never
I've got plenty of, and this is something I think people miss. I have like friends and even mentors, a few, who I don't really agree with them on everything, but I'm not trying to be like them in a complete sense. So,
I think where his point that I think is valid is like, I do think that if the gifts of God, and I'd love to hear a counter take to this, if the gifts of God are so present in certain people, why do you not try to employ them in more, in different various settings, And
right.
I think that, obviously there's weird additions of that too, The last thing I'll say, two things I'll say. So first, I want your response to this, and then the second, I think maybe we'll just end this episode. First is, do people not understand that this is the nature of short form content? Is that things are being said out of context for the conversation, like that? All short form clips are out of context ultimately, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's so much arguing around short form content.
No, that is true, and I think short form. Another thing too, there's this line you have to walk, and I mean, I do it. Everybody does it when you make video content. It's like, hey, I need to say something that is going to get some attention. There's going to be some traffic. It's going to engage people, but how do I do that without saying something completely stupid? Because I mean, scroll through your explore page. This is why Andrew Tate is Andrew Tate. Because, every 5 minutes, there's a new 30-second clip of him saying something that sounds outrageous. And so people kind of have a natural incentive to put out hot takes, which is one thing I don't like about social media at the moment, to be honest. When I browse social media, it's just hot take, hot take, hot take, hot take. And at some point, I'm like, dude, you're making me like have imaginary arguments with you in my head every time I open my social media. But if I talk to any of these people, probably even Erwin, if I talk to them in real life, I'd be like, wow, that's a really chill guy. That's a great guy. And I like a lot of what he has to say.
I like Pastor Jeremy Johnson's response. He said, this doesn't sound like the Erwin McManus I know in real life. I thought that was I thought that was a cool clip where he was saying, I don't agree with this. He's like, but this 37-second clip doesn't necessarily reflect my experience with you. They're both pastors in LA.
Right. Well, so it's some of that. I mean, I would love, if we had more time, I'd sit and I'd watch a little bit broader context of what he's saying.
Yeah, well, Aaron and Owen should come on, and if they drop a long form or if it's already out, we will.
I mean, at the same time, though, somebody pressed post on this. Whether he approved it or someone else approved it, they said that clip by itself is good enough to go out.
And that's where I think that their team and all of us, I'm guilty of this, is knowing that something will perform well via the algorithm doesn't mean that it'll perform well for the kingdom. And I know that that's a double-edged sword, and I'm not even saying it's always black and white, but I think sometimes I mean, clearly look at his last views. I mean, 28K, 59K, 9K, 30K. I mean, this is like double, and it's because it's controversial, And so I think it's just something with short form we all have to be more prayerful on. It's like pray before you hit post. Talk to your pastor about it. Like run things by people, I have to go. So I would just point this thing out too, is this clip that everyone in Christendom's talking about only has 200,000 views. This is also one of those good moments where Christians, we got to chill out and realize there is a whole world out there that does not know about our little microchasms and inner fightings. And it's just, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have our inner fightings. I'm just, because I think a lot of them are iron sharpens iron. I'm just saying that sometimes it gets me out of the weird Christianity bubble brain rot loop of just realizing this big clip is Justin Bieber posting one story. You know what I mean? Like, it's just in terms of impact and everything like that. So
Totally.
let us know your thoughts on Erwin's clip and on how to conduct yourself online. And if you are one of those people that has an opinion on what we're saying, come on our show. We'd love to invite every single one of you. This is a show where our goal is to feature more and more call-ins. We just need to do a better job, reaching out to you guys and you reaching out to us. We love you guys so much. You want to close this out, Taylor?
No, this is Between Sundays. It's been a good episode. We covered a lot of ground. We yapped about a lot of stuff today. So if you guys are watching this, if you guys want to debate with us, if you guys have a counter take, put it in the comments. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.